Petey Wheatstraw.
Was that how the theme went? I can't remember. As quickly as it had come, it had gone.
Petey Wheatstraw.
When I was watching it, I was thinking this is maybe the best theme of a movie recommended since the OK Little Brother one we did.
Yeah. It's a really weird movie.
How did you end up picking this one?
So after My Name is Dolomite came out, Red Letter Media did like a whole Rudy Ray Moore retrospective where they just watched like 4 of his movies.
Okay.
And this was like one of their favorites.
Yeah.
Because it goes all over the place, and like Dolomite makes sense. Like he's like the typical blaxploitation pimp is an action hero thing, and he's got his like Rudy Ray Moore rhymes and his like weird like poetry that he just like slams at everybody. And this one is just really strange because the devil doesn't really come into it until like the end of the first act. Like there's no indication that this is going to turn supernatural.
Outside of the opening when he tells you this is a story of how he married the devil's daughter or whatever.
And he doesn't really.
I'll be honest. Once the movie started, I was immediately excited to talk about it, and at the same time undercut with terrified to talk about it, because considering what the movie is like, I kind of felt like no matter what I say about the movie, criticism or praise, it could be seen as racist. So I was just like, I want to talk about it.
Your criticism or the movie?
Huh?
Your criticism or the movie?
I don't know how much of this movie is like on purpose and how much is like not on purpose. I don't know what they're going for. Like,
so if you do watch the My Name is Dolomite, they get a lot of like the filmmaking details right. Like he hired, like for Dolomite, I'm not sure about Petey Wheatstraw, but like the movie My Name is Dolomite kind of like alludes to, he used a lot of the same crew from Dolomite as he made all of his movies, because like they were cheap and they all made their money back and then some. But like the first one he did with Dolomite was made with a student filmmaking crew and a washed up old actor to direct. And I've seen Dolomite. It is, like I said with this one, it's competently made. Like the people behind the camera clearly know the basics on how to make a movie. Like you're never confused about shots, like continuity, like you can follow the scene. The story itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but like you could watch a scene and understand. But for like this one, it doesn't really seem to know what an establishing shot is, because I would watch a scene and then it would just quickly change into the next conversation in the next scene, and I wouldn't have a clue as to what was going on until about 10 seconds after that.
Well, I'm talking more about the fact that the movie starts out with his birth and the doctor pulling him out of his mother first pulls out a watermelon. And I was like, okay, I'm not the right person to talk about this movie because I don't know what I can really comment on.
This movie either loves or hates watermelon. And I'm not sure because...
Or loves or hates people of color, because there's a scene where he grabs a nappy kid and picks the hell out of his tough hair, and the kid starts crying, and I was wondering how much of that was real and how much was that kid actor. I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't want the mystery spoiled for me. Because I've worked with kid actors before, and they can surprise you. Because like especially like the really, really young ones come in and like they act like the most professional person. Like they've memorized everyone's parts in the script. They know how to cry on cue. But sometimes, it's just like kind of like some kids like, hey, kid, you want to be in a movie? I have no idea if he picked that kid's hair so hard it made him cry. I don't know if that kid's like the best actor in the world. I have
Right.
no idea. But this movie also not only hates poor black people, but also winos.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But again, I don't know how much is like him trying to be funny or how much. I feel like I don't know much about Petey Wheatstraw, the character from this movie, but I do feel like I know a lot about Rudy Ray Moore from watching this movie. He's a great dresser. He loves to be the center of attention. He seems to believe he knows karate, but I don't really think that he does. He also seems to really like hate fat people. And winos. I feel like I know those things about this man. It's almost like when we watched Saving Christmas, where I'm like, I feel like I have a deep understanding of Kirk Cameron's psyche. I feel like I understand parts of Rudy Ray Moore from watching this movie. Not so much Petey Wheatstraw, the character, though.
That's a fair assessment, because like I'm basing my thing from what everyone has said about the Eddie Murphy movie, My Name is Dolomite, which, if anyone's listening to this, it's on Netflix. It's not going away. It's a Netflix original. Just watch it. It's fun. It's a very entertaining movie, and it's a welcoming surprise to see Eddie Murphy back giving a shit again. So for everyone's saying like, oh, that, like everyone's saying like, this is like how Rudy Ray Moore was. Like people are saying like, this is more or less like how he was. Like he was like a nice dude, like very loyal to the people who he worked with, and he just when he got into that Dolomite character, he just started roasting people.
There is a plot that I will try to summarize as best as I can. So I don't need to get into the nitty gritty because I feel like if I just say parts of this movie, like when he's born, a watermelon comes out, it won't make sense. So Petey Wheatstraw is born as a child. He doesn't come out as a baby. He comes out as a child. He gets
as a back-talking child.
He beats up his own dad and like the doctor, and I'm like, okay, I can get on board with this. He's then bullied and then is found by a wise old man who mentors him in the ways of the Orient, Kung Fu. I don't like that I said that, but that's how the movie says it. So
Banzu? Was that his name? Banzu? Bantu. Yeah. I remember because Megan asked, what was his name? Bindu? Windu? And I'm like, no, it's not Windu. It's definitely not Windu.
Bantu. Although he's more fleshed out than Mace Windu. I'll give him that.
That's true.
So he's just this, and he's not like, they could have made it the father that teaches him Kung Fu, but they don't. He has this wise old mentor who teaches Petey Wheatstraw the ways of Kung Fu. He then grows up to become a stand-up comedian, and I'm using that phrase very lightly. I'm using quote fingers when I say comedian, because he really just like is mean and cruel to people in the crowd and rhymes. That's most of what his stand-up is. I don't know if that's similar to Dolomite. It's like Reggie from the Nutty Professor movie, but if he talked like Dr. Seuss, but also wasn't funny in any way.
Like, I actually found this stand-up bit to be actually funny. Because like a lot of times when you see stand-up in movies, it's horrible. But this really wasn't stand-up. It was just more of like insulting people really, really savagely.
Yeah.
But also lazily.
Because are they paying for this? For him to be like, oh, hey, look at your dumb teeth, you dumb fat bitch. Like, that's like kind of how he talks.
I absolutely loved how he made fun of a fat woman's ass, saying, if there was a fire and people said, haul ass, you had to make 10 trips. All right, that was pretty funny. And then this dude's like, hey, that's my wife. You can't make fun of me. Shut up. But like, you just had this whole big thing and this shut up.
That's about what his comedy amounts to. So he's this stand-up comedian / do-gooder guy. I don't know. And there's
I don't know.
There's this, he's coming to town to do a show, which we never see. It's almost like the bowling game in The Big Lebowski. He's coming to town, and also, okay, I'm going down a weird rabbit hole, but like, the bullies that he gets beat up by, he swears revenge on. I thought that was going to come back, but it doesn't. So there's these two brothers / maybe best friends / also maybe husbands. I don't know Leroy and Ernest's relationship to each other, but they're these two men who both dress like Fred Mertz from I Love Lucy, and they own a club, and they're about to open their club the day before Petey Wheatstraw comes to town. And they think that people won't be able to attend both. So they know Petey Wheatstraw.
I know, it's not the same day.
It's not the same day. They seem to also owe Petey Wheatstraw money. So they try to contact him and they're like, hey, please move your show. And he won't do it. So they put a hit on him by, what was the name of that guy? Scarface Willie. Easily the most terrifying character I've ever seen in a movie. He's got this horrifying scar and these bug eyes. Pretty cool afro. All the afros in this movie were, chef's kiss. The afros and the hair and the clothes, I was in love with. I was enamored with all the costuming. So they put out a hit on him. They... Scarface Willie or whatever accidentally shoots and kills a child.
Yep.
Which, in an attempt on his quest to kill Petey, I guess, there's this little kid named Larry. And like throughout the first 25 minutes, I'm just like, okay, I know this is called The Devil's Son-in-Law. The devil has yet to appear. I also noticed that I can't tell the tone for this movie. And like most of it seems like a goofy comedy, which I'm fine with. As I'm having that thought, they shoot a child and he has like a 3-minute...
Larry!
It's a weird scene where like all of a sudden a crowd of people just come up who didn't do anything and they just watch this kid die in front of them. And I was just like, I couldn't have called that. I didn't expect a child to die in this. So they then are going to Larry's funeral service, and they're all pulling, they're leaving the church. Women are singing a sad church song. They got the body. Petey Wheatstraw's there with his crew. He has a group of guys in the same vein as like Buckaroo Banzai, where it's just like...
I was thinking the same thing.
Feels like that, like a black Buckaroo Banzai. It's just this guy who we are told is great, but we don't really know why, and he has a crew of followers. So they're all at this funeral. Scarface Willie comes and just executes everybody. He just shoots. The first thing you see is this poor woman getting like just shot up, and the priest gets shot up. And I was just like texting Kate. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? I was like, I don't understand what this is. I'm very uncomfortable. We just watched a kid die, and then we watched everybody else get killed. They drive off. Everyone's just bleeding out. Then a bearded man in a nice suit walks by who reveals himself to be the devil. And I was like, oh, okay.
I thought he was Bantu.
Yes, so did I. Also, we'll get into it. This might be my favorite movie version of the devil I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
He's easily the best character in the movie. So Petey Wheatstraw is like, hey, are you responsible for this? And the devil's like, no, I didn't do this, but I can undo it. Come with me to hell. And he's like, hey, actually, if you marry my daughter, my ugly daughter, I'll give you a chance to get revenge on those two Fred Mertz guys who set this all up. So Petey Wheatstraw...
that was my favorite part. By far my favorite part in the whole movie.
Them making the initial setup of the movie their deal?
Yes. It's like, oh, how bad could it be? Oh, hell no, man.
Yeah, this woman is so
She's
ugly.
So ugly.
This devil daughter who we don't see until the end is... And also she's played by the same actress who plays like every other female in the movie.
Yes.
Because I looked it up. They didn't show her face, and I was like, well, that's weird. And there's one part where one of Petey's crew is in bed with a woman who they also don't show her face. It's all her. There's this girl, Nell, and it doesn't matter. So the devil rewinds what happened to give Petey a chance to get revenge, but he only rewinds up to the shooting at the funeral.
Yeah, Larry's not alive.
I thought for
Larry
sure they
just
were
stays
gonna
dead.
bring back Larry. I was really jarred by what I saw. I was just like, wait a minute, this guy that, I mean, then I was also like, but he is the devil. I don't know. Should I expect any more of him? So he rewinds the shooting, and then the rest of the movie is basically Petey getting revenge, aided by a cane that the devil makes that gives Petey the powers of the devil to get revenge on these two men / Scarface Willie. And then hilarity and music and pretty legit horror ensues after that.
What was really funny to me about the second act of the movie is it managed to be both one of the most boring movies I've ever seen and one of the most engaging and hilarious movies I've ever seen, because he doesn't use the magical cane for like a while. It feels like he's just having sex with women and hanging out with his friends, and he keeps getting calls from the devil. It's like, you need to use my cane to get revenge. It's like, that's the deal we made. It's like, yeah, thanks, and hangs up. Gets another call from just to remind you to use my cane. Thanks for the reminder, man. Bam, hangs up again. And then he just goes out and does it like fucking Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, so we are okay. Since anybody's listening to this, when I say anybody, I mean our girlfriends, are listening to this, they can't see what Kate's actually doing. Kate was doing a phone mime. This version of the devil communicates via telephone. He doesn't just show up. He calls people on the phone. He takes taxis to get from place to place. And then he like goes jogging and wears like red tracksuits. I'm like, I love this chilled out version of the devil.
So also another thing I found funny is that Hell is like a movie from like the 19 teens where like it's still like no such thing as lighting. There's just a red filter on the camera, so and everything's red, but everything else is so fucking black you can't see anything except for the shit that just showed, like the face and then like the lapel, and then a couple things on the wall every now and then.
Weird faces.
Yeah, there's a painting that shows up in another scene where they filmed the devil here. It's just weird. But then he like shows. There's a point where Petey kidnaps a wino and then makes a face mold and then puts it on the wino. And then not only is the wino a fat man, and when he gets the mask on, he's regular bodied Rudy Ray Moore, which is perfect. There shouldn't have been any other way. That's the most perfect way. But then the devil's minions come to get him, and then he's like, the wino wakes up, takes the mask off, runs away, and then the devil's holding up the mask in hell, but you can't see him hold anything because it's so dark in hell. Like and I know exactly what you mean. Like, is this on purpose? Is this an accident? I don't know. And I think that's part of the charm. That's part of the charm.
The devil is easily the most honest character in the movie. Everything he says he does, he does. He just wants Petey to marry his daughter, and then he gives him the cane to get his revenge.
Because he doesn't want to deal with his daughter anymore. He doesn't want to deal with his own daughter anymore, right? Because she's so ugly and unpleasant to be around.
I thought for sure she was going to be fat. She wasn't. I thought for sure when we saw her she would be. The devil not only like aids Petey in his revenge, he gives him like multiple like chances and a lot of time to follow through on Petey's part of the deal of marrying the daughter. Because like Kate said, he'll just be like, "Hey, you gonna do it yet? Okay, whenever you get to it." And then he throws Petey maybe one of the strangest bachelor parties I've ever seen. When I say bachelor party, I mean just a room full of women with horns on their head that he just fucks for.
And God, what a glorious scene that, like, can tell that was like the most fun they had.
It's the most fun that Rudy Ray Moore had, yeah.
like the whole thing is just one big joke. All the demon ladies have their legs up in the air as they're laying on the bed, and he's just like humping and like putting his face down and mugging for the camera, and it's like all fast forward.
Yep.
And like, to me, that just looks like nothing but like the biggest joke ever. It's like, as far as I know, Rudy Ray Moore's never had like he was unpleasant to this woman in real life. I've never heard that about Rudy Ray Moore. But it's just so weird to see that, because in this movie particularly, like Dolomite, yeah, a little bit, but in this movie especially, I see all these blaxploitation tropes and then the blaxploitation parody movies using from this movie alone. Like, clearly Rudy Ray Moore is the character Bullhorn from Black Dynamite.
Also Black Dynamite himself.
And also Black Dynamite himself.
Yeah.
And then like the orgy scene, like the aftermath of the orgy in Black Dynamite is like the aftermath of this one. And also Lil Wayne, the rapper, has clearly seen this movie.
I saw that and I was just like, that blew my mind.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's just a coincidence. I want to say Red Letter Media touches on that too, but I forgot that Lil Wayne is just graffitied on a wall somewhere that they filmed.
So, like I said, the devil throws in this bachelor party. And again, I don't know why. I don't know who I'm supposed to root for. I feel like Petey's the hero, but the devil is a pretty honest dude, and he's pretty easygoing, and he helps Petey do everything he needs, and he helps get him laid. And then the devil, I guess, deserves to burst into flame and get thrown off a building at the end. So I was like, oh, I guess the movie wants me to not like the devil, even though Petey kept trying to get out of the bargain he made.
He got out of the bargain, and he kept abusing the power, and the devil was just like, as long as you marry my daughter, it's all good.
Yes. But then at the end, Petey gets into a car, and the devil is there, and I'm like, oh, so maybe he got what he deserved. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter, I guess. But
it's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
The purple silky journey. That's true. All of his costumes I loved. There was one in particular that reminded me of, so there's a scene where it shows him like just running through the neighborhood, like doing things with the magical cane. His aura reminded me of Jack Nicholson in Batman when he's painting the museum, just like his goofy foppish hat, dancing around, being a fun old goof. But then he like grabs a small child. He's like, I'm going to pick your nappy hair. And he's like legit running. I mean, look, I'm biracial, but I present relatively white. My sister looks more mixed, and she has pretty tough hair. And I just remember when we were kids, my mom would just sit there brushing the hell out of her hair, and my sister like just tearing up and crying while our heads getting jerked back. And then I saw that little kid, and I was like, "There's no way that's fake. That real kid with that real tough hair is crying legit because Rudy Ray Moore picked his hair, I guess." I do want to talk about the cane a little bit.
Because it looks like it's plastic.
Yeah, the devil equips Petey with a cane that is apparently as powerful as him, and then Petey uses it to vanquish and beat the devil, much like Galactus and the Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four 2, which I also think they saw this movie. There's no way they couldn't have, and they implemented elements of that in that movie. But he uses the cane to beat him. And then we see the devil. Okay, I also want to talk about the abject horror in this movie. So Kate alluded to a mask that Petey uses to get out of his commitment to the devil. And he puts on a wino, and one of his friends is good at making masks. They show the mask while they're prepping it before they put it on the wino. It was maybe the scariest thing I've ever seen.
It was made of rubber, and it looked lifeless, but it was like that uncanny valley lifelessness.
Stapled to like a stump. It was horrifying.
Yeah, like it has never come up before that this person knows how to do anything like disguise wise.
Right.
But it's perfect. It's a perfect mask, and it turns whoever wears it into Rudy Ray Moore.
I just remember seeing it and being like, I'm not sleeping tonight. Like, that mask is going to haunt my dreams. I'm in a bad mood now watching that mask. It just really freaked me the fuck out. And then, like, there's a part where at the end, okay, so he gets his revenge on the club. So the two villain guys do open their club. They're also stand-up comedians, I guess.
But we don't really ever see them do stand-up until the Bruce Almighty scene.
Yeah, I also didn't really understand what their deal was. They owe money to a guy named Mr. White, which, fine.
He's white.
I didn't like how much I liked his clothes, too. I was like, God damn, he's rocking the hell out of that turtleneck and checkered pants.
So, crazy thing, I know for a fact that all the clothes Rudy Ray Moore wears in his movies are his own suits that he bought.
Spectacular.
Like, because before the Dolomite movies, he made a bunch of Dolomite, like, comedy records.
Okay.
And he would do shows, and that was, like, part of his character, like, lavish, big pimpin' sort of, you know, clothes and character and like way he talked. So I know for a fact that all the clothes he wears are his, but I don't know about anyone else's or if he bought everyone's clothes or if they're their own clothes. I have no idea, but it's so perfect how everyone looks like they shop at the same store.
Yeah. Some garish store, but so Petey sneaks in, well, not sneaks in, he does a Jamaican accent, and that's enough to get him into the club.
Oh, a horrible Jamaican accent. Like, I'm like, that's clearly just Petey Wheatstraw.
He's dressed the same. He's
just got sunglasses on.
It's just him in a Jamaican accent. The movie then, for some weird reason, shifts into Carrie for about 5 minutes where he just destroys this club with this cane. Like, it's just the ending of Carrie where people are screaming and winds blowing in this big weird auditorium. I guess those two guys like die or whatever because Mr. White takes them and then we see them at the end as demons. So I'm assuming they were killed. Then the devil sends his minions after Petey Wheatstraw, which, okay, again,
they're completely ineffective. And Megan said they are the gayest looking demons because they're all like wearing like rainbow colored tights.
Here's the thing though. I found them horrifying because there's something scary about how cheap they look, but how committed they are to what they're doing. That's true. I don't believe these are demons. I believe these are unwell people dressed in these costumes, and they're all committed to moving horrifyingly. And I'm like, I don't believe these are people from hell. I believe this is a group of humans who thought this was scary. That idea is scarier to me. I'm like, I don't want to be around any of these guys. Like, if you woke up and you saw them in your house just moving slowly towards you, wouldn't you be like, they're going to kill and eat me right now?
Yeah, that's what's weird about this movie is that it is a bad movie, yes, but it's the best bad movie because you feel like the love and commitment that's thrown into this movie. Like there, I'm sure there are things that wound up are being accidents or like, you know, it was planned, but it didn't quite go as planned. But you can tell everyone is just 100% committed to this movie. And you really feel it while you watch it because it's never like so bad it's boring. It just gets a little dry, you know, from scene to scene because like they just keep changing tones with each scene and you kind of have to like play catch up. But like as soon as you start feeling a little bored, there's like a crazy thing that happens. There's a crazy like one-liner that someone says.
A lot of fecal stuff in this.
Yeah, a lot of poop. Yeah, like dude actually shit himself.
And there's a whole scene where like people with kindness in their heart take their shits.
Yeah.
They wipe and they're good. People with larceny in their hearts take shits and look at it. And I'm like, what about People who check the toilet paper to see if it's clean. How does that fit into your theory, Rudy Ray Moore? I don't understand.
Yeah, I know. Like this is for me. This is the second Rudy Ray Moore movie I've seen. I think there's like 5 total. I am completely willing to watch all of them. Not only once, but probably a couple of times. Like these movies are entertaining, and it's refreshing to see a cheap movie. And I know this is like 50 years old by now, but like it's so nice to see a cheap movie that feels good while you watch it.
Yeah,
because you don't really get that all the time, especially all the movies that we watch on this show.
No, this was a good pick. It was definitely charming and fun. So after we do this, I'm going over to my girlfriend's house. I'm watching it with her family. Like I told them about it.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to other people. I want to watch his other movies. I'm probably gonna watch Dolomite first, and then what's the second one? The Golden Tornado or something?
Human Tornado.
I'm gonna watch that, and then I'll watch Dolomite Is My Name. I think there's like some disco one that's on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna watch that too.
Yeah. I can't remember. I saw it last night too. Yeah, they're all on like IMDb TV, which is just free with commercials, and like these old movies, like that's fine. You know, like there's no reason to pay money for Dolomite. No one's making money off of it anymore.
Oh no, I paid to rent this, and it was worth it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it was. I watched it free with ads.
Yeah, I tried to do that. Not that this is matters. I tried to do that. My TV wouldn't let me do it. It doesn't matter. But
that's weird.
I'm fine with paying for it because I loved it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch those other movies too. I'm in.
Yeah, right. Like it's rare that we feel that way about a certain creator on the show.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what? No, I just want to watch all your shit.
Yeah, no, I'm on board.
and we made the rule, no comedies, but this was a good one to break that rule over.
I almost feel like it doesn't count because again, parts of it legit scared me.
That's true. That is true.
It's part comedy, part horror, part superhero, kind of.
Yeah, and when you do watch this, you'll see seeds of other movies you've seen. Like in the beginning, I got like I think Megan made like a Back to the Future reference, and I'm like, holy shit, it kind of fits here. And then I just started like making like little like jokes, like lines from Back to the Future movie for like the first 10 minutes. So I'm like, this strangely works out. I don't know how. And then there's like Bruce Almighty, there's Black Dynamite, there's like probably every blaxploitation movie you've ever seen takes something from here. You get to see where Lil Wayne got his name.
Yeah, the origin of Lil Wayne, which I've always wondered. My only concern going forward is I feel like, are the others going to live up to this? Like, did I shoot myself in the foot by starting with this one?
So, yeah, I think this is like the 4th one. So that means that, they've made a couple movies and they've ironed out some of the kinks. But Dolomite is the first one. And when you watch Dolomite Is My Name, you'll see like some of the hurdles and like treading water they've never been into before. Like, but unlike like Ed Wood is a good comparison. Ed Wood, that movie is about a guy who had a lot of passion to make movies, but had no fucking clue on how to do it.
No skills.
Right, no skill at all, just wanted to pump them out. He was like very passionate about it, just no idea, no technical skill, no willingness to learn from his mistakes at all. Whereas Dolomite Is My Name, it's made by people who love making movies. Like they wanted to do this, like he put up his own money to just like, look, man, this is just what we're gonna do. Like, this is just gonna be fun. This is something that we're doing. So we're gonna make a lot of money, and this is gonna be so entertaining while we do it. I'm gonna hire film students. They know how to do it, and so it looks like competently made. But the Dolomite Is My Name movie makes fun of like, yeah, we didn't really know exactly what you were doing. Like, especially the kung fu stuff.
Yeah.
Like, dude, one of the best parts of Dolomite Is My Name is the director looks at the student DP. He's like, is there an angle that would make this look good? And he goes, no such angle exists. Like, okay, action.
Yeah, no, I'm on board.
They just go.
I dig it.
Yeah, let me know when you watched it, because I want to. Not only do I want to watch it again, but I want to hear what you have to say about it. Maybe we'll talk about it on our next show.
Okay.
Do you have anything else on Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law?
No, I just liked it.
Yeah, I highly recommend everyone watch this movie. Like, watch all Rudy Ray Moore's shit. Like, they're all free somehow, somewhere. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even if you paid a couple bucks for it, it's easily worth it.
So, yeah, I got nothing else to say about it.
Yeah, let's roll right into the news.
Okay.
What little news there is.
Yeah, most of it is just, there's stuff being delayed. We might never see a movie again. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is there any that is upcoming that you're, like, really wanting to see that's been delayed? Like, I want to see Dune, and I want to see...
I do want to see Dune.
The new Wes Anderson movie, of course, but that's about it.
Yeah. So Dune, The French Dispatch. I watched Tenet.
Was it good?
I watched the... It's a fun, like... It's a fun James Bond movie.
Okay.
I'll say.
I will see it at some point.
It definitely thinks it's way smarter than it is.
Like all Chris Nolan movies?
Like all Nolan movies. But it doesn't use much CGI at all. Okay. Which is probably the most impressive part about it for me, because like the whole movie is like being filmed forwards and backwards at the same time. Like when you watch it, you'll get what that means, but there are things that happen that you will you'll assume that, oh, this is CGI. Mm-hmm. But through the power of filmmaking, they managed to make things look going in reverse while going forward in real time at the same time. Mm-hmm. And that makes the action feel so much better, I think. It's well worth a watch.
My only beef with Nolan, especially his last few movies, is that I feel like you're right. He definitely has all the powers of his disposal of making film, except for making characters I give a shit about. Because...
Yeah. He's an excellent action movie filmmaker. Mm-hmm. He does not know how to write a character that changes.
He cares more about giving you an experience in a theater than he does about like just telling a story about people I want to see. But we'll see. I definitely am going to see it.
Yeah. In some ways, I think that's fine depending on the movie. I think for me, when I started to get that Nolan beef is when he's like, you just don't get it.
Right.
Now that's like, all right, dude, come on now.
Yeah.
I liked your movie. Just shut up.
We've all accepted you're a lizard man from the core of the earth and you don't understand how people work, but you understand films. We get it, okay?
Yeah. I think Tenet it's a very good, entertaining action movie. Okay. There are, of course, holes that you spot immediately, but
Okay.
I watched Wonder Woman.
Oh, did you like it?
No. It was bad, but I found it lazy. Mm-hmm. But when I heard like that Patty Jenkins turned in 31 first drafts into the producer's office. Oh, that's why it's bad, because they don't know what they want.
I enjoyed it when I first watched it. I was like, okay, I like that. But as it's gone on and I've watched it a second time, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of like problems. Like the ghost rape?
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, I mean, I see what you're going for, but
right.
I watched all The Mandalorian. I'm watching WandaVision, which is pretty good.
Don't spoil the third episode. I haven't seen it yet.
I will not. Like, if there's a WandaVision commercial that comes on YouTube or Hulu, skip or shut your eyes and go la 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 la, because the commercial ruins the whole fucking thing.
Okay, yeah, I love the show.
Mandalorian is really fun, so I'm looking forward to that. As far as movies go, like, things just keep getting delayed, and I'm just like, whatever comes out on Netflix or streaming that I don't have to go risk getting coronavirus to watch, I'll watch it. I have no idea what it's gonna be, but
So,
I mean,
the first,
it's like, I guess to like answer your question that I just went on a rant completely avoiding. I don't know if I'm really looking forward to movies. I'm just quietly waiting for them to come out.
Yeah, I guess that's how I feel too. There's nothing outside of like Dune and The French Dispatch. There's nothing that I'm really like. I want to see the new Bond when that comes out, but
I'm worried.
What?
I'm worried.
Why?
Because the whole point of this one is to like move on to do a different Bond story. Oh, James Bond, we're retiring. Now it's just going to be 007 movies. And now there's like, who's going to be the next James Bond? It's like, no, you're not learning.
I like Cary Fukunaga, so I trust the movie so far.
We'll see. Spectre was probably the worst Bond movie I've ever seen.
He didn't direct Spectre.
No, but it's still a stain on the 007 brand.
We'll see. Believe in something, damn it. I don't know. Okay. First news story is about the Spider-Man movie coming out, the live-action Spider-Verse. Do you care about that?
Oops, all Spider-Man?
Yeah. Tobey Maguire's coming back, maybe, if he quits being a butthole and stops holding out for more money.
Thing is, we've already seen Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Spider-Verse, but different. I just want to watch Spider-Verse again. Give me a different Spider-Man movie. It might be good. I don't know. But I doubt I'll be able to watch it and go, oh, this is different than Spider-Verse.
So I so far have liked the Tom Holland movies a lot. I like them, and so part of me is like, I trust Marvel. Like I they've yet to really disappoint me. But the way Far From Home ends with, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, with Peter getting his like identity exposed and stuff, I'm like, okay.
Parker.
Huh?
Parker.
Yeah. I'm interested in that. I don't know how we can go from that storyline of like him now being worried about things to like, all these characters from other movies coming back in. I don't know. I'm curious, but I don't really need to see Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker again, because he's maybe the weakest part of that original trilogy. Because of how awkward and weird he is, and Andrew Garfield will make me feel self-conscious because of how cool he is, so I don't need to see them pop up in this other Spider-Man movie.
I mean, that's the thing, like, I already have, like, good closure with Tobey Maguire's, because as much as I like the third one, it's a stinker. But in Spider-Verse, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man dies in the first, like, 10 minutes. Like he's doing his little dance thing. That's clearly Tobey Maguire's.
Yeah.
And then you get fat Andrew Garfield's as Peter B. Parker. So I feel like I don't need to see them be Spider-Man again. It might be like a big Spider-Man team up that we've never seen before. That'll be fine. Whatever.
Yeah. But,
I don't know.
I have just two other stories that I kind of want to get into. One of them is, I don't know how much you care about like I Love Lucy, but Aaron Sorkin's making a movie about that.
Oh yeah, about the two of them, right?
Nicole Kidman's playing Lucy. Do you like Nicole Kidman as an actress?
Every now and then when she shows up, like, she's really good.
Okay.
I can't think of anything lately that I've seen her in.
The thing is about her is, I don't know why, but I never believe her having like, kind of like a Chris Nolan, like she understands humans. Like I feel like she has weird chemistry with other people where she feels like not exactly a real person. Do you ever get that vibe, or is that just me?
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from her always playing older characters.
Maybe.
Because, like, she's always played older characters, and she's not really that old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think it comes from like her not really understanding the life experience.
Maybe.
And like a lot of like the her younger movies, like she's playing well experienced, top educated people when she's like in her early 20s.
And Chase Meridian,
like,
yeah.
What was that from?
Batman Forever.
Oh, she was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Man, I always forget that's her.
It's her best role. I don't know.
Where she's
Do you
just
like Aaron
flat.
Sorkin?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll see.
Nicole Kidman's weird, man. Yeah, like I do get that. I like her in this, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, do I like her in it or do I like the movie?
Exactly. I just can't see her as Lucy. I don't know.
I'm really trying to rack my brain and like rationalize it to myself. I don't know.
The last story, which we'll wrap up on, is the one I was really excited to talk to you about. Is they're moving forward with Willy Wonka prequel, which we talked about before, but now I guess they're putting real work into it.
Isn't that just what Charlie and the Chocolate Factory did? It showed us the origin of fucking Willy Wonka.
Yeah, but now we got a new one.
It's just they need to stop while they're ahead. It's like the best version of this story already exists. Just watch it. Just skip Cheer Up Charlie and you have a perfect movie.
But what if, Kate, what if this movie is a prequel to the original film and it's young Gene Wilder Willy Wonka? Will that interest you more?
You know what I do think will happen is it's going to be a reboot. In that they're going to do the reboot remake thing where it's Willy Wonka who's in a contest who wins the chocolate factory or wins the money to buy the chocolate factory, and they're just going to keep remaking the same fucking movie over and over again.
Slaves, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I would not put it past this reboot machine to do some bullshit like that.
I want it to be a straight up prequel to the original film, but here's how I want it to end. If it ends any other way, I'm not going to like it. It has to end where he finally opens his factory. He's a big old celebrity, right? Then he goes to a bar and meets a woman. They got good rhythm, good chemistry together. But he's more interested in his chocolate. He's not interested in having a lady right now. So he takes her home. They have a one-night stand, all right? She gets up the next morning, and then she's like, I have to go work in my laundry job. He's
Charlie
Charlie's
Bucket is Willy Wonka's kid. Oh, man. That I think you're right.
We never see his father in that first movie.
Dude, as soon as you said that, it's like he meets this woman. I'm like, did we never see Charlie's dad?
Nope.
We didn't. We don't even know what happened to it.
And they have the same hair in that first movie.
They do.
It was all preordained to get his son, his bastard child, into that factory.
Cheer up, Charlie. Your dad's a billionaire.
He wouldn't pay child support, so that was the weird deal they had. He would come up with this weird roundabout way.
Oh my, he purposely sent out 5 golden tickets to get to Charlie, and then the 4 other kids are just bystanders who just turn into victims.
Yep.
That's perfect. That's what it should be. That would make an interesting movie. Oh my! I think you're right. I think you are right, spot on the money with that one.
If it's anything other than that, I don't care. Why else
Damn,
would he
that
pick
was,
these kids with these weird traits? He specifically put them in situations to fail. It's because it's always about his son at the end. It's a story about family, like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, and that's true. But in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we do see his dad, who works in a toothpaste factory, screwing on toothpaste caps.
I like that movie, but most fans don't like that movie. I'm sure it'll be, if it's a prequel, it's going to be a prequel to the Gene Wilder one.
Yeah, I don't like that movie.
Well, you're wrong, so.
You don't like all, I mean, you know, all the songs, the memorable songs in that movie.
Are you talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes.
I do like the songs in that movie.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? I do like the songs in that movie. I like the look. I like the characters. I think it's funnier than that first movie. The first movie is a classic, but I like the Tim Burton one a lot.
I mean, the first movie doesn't really become like funny until the Chocolate Factory, and the one song, "Cheer Up, Charlie," is a wet fucking noodle.
I fast forward through that song every time.
Yeah, that's how you should watch Willy Wonka. Mm-hmm. You just fast forward through that terrible fucking song.
But now we'll get context.
Cheer up, Charlie. Lower your expectations for life.
But now when you see this prequel where it explains that she's just some woman who got tossed aside by this corporate dick who got her knocked up, it'll take on some resonance.
Yeah, it's a modern movie. Fuck billionaires. Yeah. Cheer up, Charlie. Oh, man.
All right, you good to wrap up
We
here?
are back at it, yeah. 2021, new show, new president. I'm not in school anymore. You're working full time. Yep. It is a brand new show.
See what happens. Same delays in episodes, but other than that...
Yeah, we'll see if we can... I know I say this every 2 to 3 episodes. We'll see if we can, shorten the gap between episodes, but this is definitely our longest one. Yeah, for good reason.
To the point that, like, whenever we have one of these gaps, we just forget how to do it. Like, we'll be like,
oh yeah,
how do we turn this on? How do we use what site do we use?
Yeah. Every time we have a break, we go, all right, so like, did we use Zoom? Did we use Facebook?
Right.
All right. How do I save this? What program did I use for this thing? Mm-hmm. How do I set up anything? It's like the first time I've ever touched technology before.
Same here.
and it's crazy how you forget so easily, but we just jump right into a conversation, and that part, I feel like we just never skip a beat.
Yeah, but the tech part, it's like Zoolander and Hans hitting the computer, just Kate and I trying to figure out how to do it.
It's in the computer?
All right, so the next... I have a movie that we'll do next. I don't like that I'm following what we just watched with this one. And... maybe we'll change it. I do want to use this one, but I feel like you've seen it. Have you seen Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace?
No.
That's what we're going to watch.
Okay. I think I've seen about over half the Medea movies.
It's not a Medea movie. It's one of his serious ones. I'm doing the quote fingers.
No! It's a going to church Tyler Perry movie.
I feel bad because we watched a movie that we both liked, and now I'm bringing this up, which I know you're going to hate, but...
like, the best Tyler Perry movies are the Tyler Perry movies that are, like, mostly black foolishness and very little going to church. And the ones that I hate are the ones that are just like full on going to church and men are evil.
That parts of that, this isn't very church based, but it is men are evil, and it is it's him doing like a legal drama. I can't wait for you to see it.
Oh God! Wait, Fall from Grace, is that the most recent one?
Yes.
The one that was filmed within like a week.
Yep.
No! No!
Yep.
Oh no! I wanted to avoid that one.
I've been saving that one for a while, but
all right, let's get ready for some watching the background actors eat air and drink nothing.
Yep. All right, till next time.
Till next time, Excelsior.
Are you starting that now? Is that going to be your new ending?
Petey Wheatstraw.
All right, there we go. Okay, bye.
All right, bye.